A 70-year-old mystery is finally over. For that long, PFC Lawrence Gordon has been listed as missing in action during combat in World War II. 2 years ago, a Wisconsin man, Jed Henry, started searching for PFC Gordon. He spent years poring through records until everything pointed to where Gordon was buried. With the help of the DNA expert from the UW, they convinced the German and French governments to test the remains. Those tests proved it was indeed PFC Gordon. And Jed Henry joins us now with the final chapter to this story, along with the soldier's nephew, Lawrence R. Gordon. Welcome.
Welcome. PFC Gordon will be buried on the 70th anniversary of his death, right? What are we doing? We're doing a procession will leave Viroqua on Friday afternoon with his remains, and then he'll end in Canada. Is that correct?
Yes.
Sorry, that's a lot. That was a mouthful. Sorry about that. Yeah.
Yes, we've organized a procession that will drive him from Viroqua, where he's in the funeral home right now, to Casper, Wyoming, where he was when he enlisted. He was working on a ranch there. Then we'll go north to Montana, where his brother is buried, and then straight north to Medicine Hat, where I live. We'll get there on August 11th, and the 13th we'll take him to East End, Saskatchewan, a little village of 600 people where he was born and raised, and he'll be interred at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 70th anniversary of his death.
Wow, that's quite a schedule.
Final resting place.
Yes.
Jed, what got you interested in this all those years ago?
Well, I started researching my grandfather. My grandfather was from Viroqua, and he served in the war. My grandparents met during training, and so I just wanted to know a little bit more about him. My background's in journalism, and as a family project, I kind of started looking into it, and I met a few of the veterans, and you're touched by the stories, fascinated by what they had to say, and 8 or 9 years into it, I decided to make a journey to France and Germany to see, retrace my grandfather's footsteps, and it was that trip that I learned about his uncle that he was still missing. I knew the unit, it's a small reconnaissance unit of about 199 men at full strength, and they had 44 men who were killed during World War II. And his uncle was the only one that didn't come home or didn't have a grave with his name on it. And it just sort of bothered me, it just seemed strange, and I wanted to look into it. And we never thought we would be here today, but we thought it was worth the effort, and it certainly has been.
Yeah.
Was there a moment where you said, okay, I'm committed to this project, no matter how long it takes, no matter what kind of difficulties I might face?
I think it was after meeting Lawrence. When you hear his story about being named after him, and making this commitment to his father that he'd visit the grave, even though he didn't know there wasn't one at the time. When you understand what it means to families to find these guys and to bring it home, there were many times that I thought about wanting to quit because it just became too difficult. But I don't think I could have ever looked him in the face or made the phone call that said I don't want to do this anymore. So
Lawrence, what went through your mind when the positive ID came through?
Oh, it was just a great feeling. I felt relatively certain that we had found him whenever the DNA extraction was being done on September 13th because of some similarities in dental records, but you really don't know for sure until the DNA comes through. That's the gold standard now, and it was just a fantastic feeling. We got the news on February 14th of this year, and it's since been confirmed twice, once by the University of Wisconsin and once by Bodie Technologies, and it's 99.995%.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
You have the wallet here that he was wearing when he was shot and killed?
Yes. This was, being a typical rancher, we presume that it was in his back pocket. It would have been zipped so that nothing could fall out, and we know that he was hit with an 88mm shell. The wallet, interestingly enough, got back to the family, but there's no identification in the wallet. We can identify his picture, but his name isn't in it anywhere. There are 3 pictures, and this is probably the best one. There's Uncle Lawrence with his girlfriend.
Show it over here. There we go.
Sure. That's his girlfriend standing beside him, his mother in front, and my 3 older siblings. I wasn't born until 6 years after, but it's taken in front of a house that the family still owns, so we recognize it and we know it's his wallet, but we don't know how the Army got it back to us.
And the girlfriend's still alive.
Really?
I actually interviewed her like 6 months ago and showed her the wallet, and she about melted when she saw it.
I can imagine. Well, now he's headed home.
He is indeed.
All right, Lawrence, Jed, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Incredible
much.
story.
Thank you.